Hi, this is my poster for the project. It's about the military ISD. ISD was sort of abbreviated instructional design. They also talked about, they referred to it as five step. Oh, let me back up. They were the military, the Air Force originally. Air Force had was developing a systematic design process for educating their employees and the fighters, and allowing for the transition from people being the civilians into being going for the Air Force. They had a really good idea already of their process that they wanted, and they needed a little bit of more help. They went to the Florida State University, and you see up in the top left, I have the little Florida State icon. They went to Florida State, which had a Department of Education well known in this instructional design area, who they provided and developed a formal system that drilled down and gave them a map and a process, and that really is the cornerstone of today's ADDIE model in many people's eyes. So the founders, really, could we say that the founders of this military ISD would be the Florida State, the well-known, the lot of things published. So let's see, some examples would be boot camp, where your learner, you're trying to get your learner to have certain outcomes in a certain amount of time. Some benefits of this process, this systematic process, is probably for boot camp, it's a combination of instruction, just straight out instruction, and with your end results, that a person meets a certain level of proficiency, mostly on the instructional side, meaning it's probably quite difficult for a soldier to get experience sort of on an internship basis, especially with dangerous scenarios. Some of the philosophies are about backward design. That's how what I took from some of this, sort of where the Army and Air Force were starting at the back and saying, okay, what do we want the student, the learner, to be? What kind of skill sets do we want them to have? One thing that I thought was interesting was some of the literature that I read talked about, in the case of the Air Force, how much volume of movies and videos that they had created as training videos for people that they started to use in a more purposeful way going forward. So this model really took off. Air Force. This model really evolved and took off as it was so perfect with the development of new technologies. Obviously, with movies was a technology, but given that now you can train on a remote basis, has made it a cost-effective result for stakeholders and for the clients. I think one of the cons. I think one of the cons of this model was it seems so end result. It's more of a process, meaning that the armed services care so much more about the process than the design itself. I'm sure they continue to work on this and apply the same diligence that they did to even be the first forefathers at the forefront of this. So, but anyways, hope you enjoy the model, and look forward to any of your feedback. Thanks.